This is the Euybike K6 Plus, and I picked it up after a month of getting fed up with my old folding e-bike, dying halfway up the steepest hill on my commute. I wanted something that wouldn't flinch at bad pavement, headwinds, or a loaded rear rack. After a few weeks of daily rides, grocery runs, and a couple of dirt detours, I've got a pretty clear picture of what this thing does well and where it gets on my nerves, and I figured it was worth making a video about it. Quick context so you know where it fits. It's a folding, fat-tire e-bike with a big battery and a strong motor. I'd call it a comfort-focused mini cargo cruiser rather than a lightweight folder. It's for folks who need real climbing power and range, not for someone who wants to toss a featherweight bike over a shoulder. Price versus performance sits in that sweet spot where you get power and components that feel serious without paying boutique money. But you absolutely have to be okay with the weight. On the road, the headline is torque. I've got 2 hills on my route that usually force me to downshift early and settle into a slow grind. On the K6 Plus, I roll into them with some speed and it just keeps pulling. The throttle gets you moving without drama, and pedal assist is right there. Even on the lowest setting, it nudges you along faster than you expect. That first push can feel a little jumpy if you're not ready, and I had to relearn how to feather the pedals when creeping through a crosswalk. Once you get used to it, it's actually nice to have, especially in stop-and-go traffic where getting back up to speed quickly is safer. Comfort is the second big thing. Between the fat 20x4 tires and the dual suspension, it rides like a small sofa. My commute has cracked asphalt, patched concrete, and a section where the city tried to fix potholes with wishful thinking. The K6 Plus takes the sting out of all of it. I run the tires a bit softer for grip and comfort, and it's noticeably more forgiving than my previous folder ever was. I still feel the bigger hits, but I'm not bracing my wrists all the time. The saddle is on the wide, cushy side, which pushes this bike toward a cruiser posture rather than a sporty one. If you like sitting upright and just rolling, it's ideal. Range has been solid enough to change my habits. The battery is large, 48 volts, 25 amp hour, and I've been doing my entire work week on 2 charges without worrying. On mixed rides with some throttle, some pedaling, and a little dirt, I'm seeing long, useful hours between plug-ins. One weekend I tried to be a hooligan and rode mostly on throttle with the assist high, and I tapped out after a long loop and a detour up a steep gravel climb. On workdays, I finish my round trip with plenty left, even when I carry a full backpack and strap a grocery bag to the rear rack. Charging on the bike is easy. Removing the battery works too, but I prefer to plug in as is because it's simpler when I'm tired. Braking and control inspire confidence. Hydraulic discs feel firm and predictable, which matters when you're carrying speed and the bike has some heft to it. In the rain, the tires still hold a line better than I expected. They don't love paint stripes or wet metal grates, but they're stable and don't hunt around like skinnier tires. Steering isn't tight like a little BMX. It's more of a deliberate, planted feel. The turning circle is wider than a typical city bike, so I plan my U-turns and garage maneuvers a bit more carefully. The folding part works as advertised. Just be realistic about what folding means here. It locks down solidly when riding, which is what matters most, and it folds for storage or transport. But this is not a quickly tuck it under a cafe table kind of fold. It's bulky and heavy. I can get it into the trunk of a mid-size SUV after a small dance, but if you live up a walk-up staircase, you'll either build new muscles or resent it. I can carry it a short distance, but I don't enjoy it. If you need something genuinely light and compact, this isn't that. Lighting and the display are better than I expected. The headlight is bright enough to show you the road, not just make you visible. And the rear light with brake function is genuinely useful at night. The turn signals are a nice touch when I'm signaling with one hand and holding the throttle with the other. The display is easy to see in daylight and has the basics laid out cleanly. I haven't needed the fault codes yet, but it's reassuring to know they're there if something acts up. As for assembly and small quirks, mine needed a derailleur tweak out of the box and a quick adjustment on the rear brake caliper to keep it from faintly rubbing. Pretty normal stuff if you've built bikes before, and there are plenty of videos out there if you haven't. The charging port cover feels a little flimsy, so I'm gentle with it. The throttle is sensitive, so when I'm walking it along a tight path, I either turn the bike off or keep a careful thumb to avoid any accidental blips. Comparing it to what I used before, my old 750-watt folding e-bike was lighter and felt more nimble at slow speeds. It was easier to haul up a step and could squeeze into tighter storage. But the brakes were mechanical, the battery was smaller, and it struggled on hills. I constantly watched the battery gauge, and it always felt like the ride had a countdown clock. The K6 Plus flips that feeling. I don't worry about making it home. I worry more about where I'm going to park it because it's bigger and heavier. Against pricier options, I've tried a couple of high-end commuters that were lighter and had more refined pedal assist at very low speeds. They had slick smartphone integrations, fancy frames, and weighed less when I needed to lift them. They also didn't have the same punch off the line, or that bring anything, go anywhere vibe. If you want a polished, feather-light city ride, there are better fits out there. If your priority is range, torque, and a cushy ride over beat-up pavement and gravel shortcuts, the K6 Plus makes a strong case for itself without sending you into premium pricing. For value, it's pretty straightforward. You're getting a lot of battery, real climbing power, hydraulic brakes, and a comfortable setup that makes rough roads less annoying. The trade-offs are weight, a bulkier fold, and a pedal assist that takes a little time to get used to at low speeds. If you can live with those, it's absolutely worth it. If your routine involves stairs every day or super tight storage, think hard before you commit. I'm keeping mine. It's made my commute easier, it handles my weekend detours without complaining, and I've started grabbing it for errands I used to do by car because I know I won't be fighting the route or the range. If you've got questions I didn't cover, drop them below. Or if you've ridden the K6 Plus, tell me how you set yours up and what your range looks like. You can find detailed information about the Euybike K6 Plus in the comments section.